I'm going to create a staircase on the right side of this building. So I'm going to start it like a door. I'm going to start with a vertical line towards the center of the building. I'm going to bring it back to the according side of the according side to that vanishing point. So the right vanishing point. I'm going to create a parallel line to cut it off. Now I have a larger walkway. The staircase will go inside. So the way I'm going to start this will be to take the inset back just like the previous door. So I'm going to make a tiny little line section or segment going back to the left vanishing point. Okay, now I'm going to take that end that's just floating back to this vanishing point, but I'm going to go the opposite way because I want it to appear that it's going into the building. So like that. I'm going to create on that corner a vertical line segment. So that's somewhere where you could step into, but this is going to be somewhere you can step over to increase the height of when you walk up the staircase. Go back to the vanishing point that applies to that side. Now this one, you're going to make a diagonal converging line from that corner to the opposite side. This will create a platform for which you can step on. And then switch sides. You're going to kind of repeat the steps, get it, steps. You can create a vertical line at that corner. And a diagonal line to go to your right side after you switch. So you're going to go to your right side, vanishing point, and then you're going to go back to your left side from that corner, just a tiny bit, and then take that corner back to the left, or to the right. And then you can create a vertical line to stop the staircase. So now I'm going to create a rail, and this is where diagonal lines do not typically apply to the vanishing point. So I just kind of I made a diagonal line that kind of follows that same incline of the stair steps. And to make it look more like a handle, I'm going to go to the right side. There you go. I'm going to create a sign that says stairs, so that way someone knows that these are stairs. I'm going to start with a vertical line towards the center of the building, and I'm going to apply it to the right side of the building. So I'm going to go and apply the top and the bottom of that line segment to the right side vanishing point. Create a vertical line to cut it off because it needs to fit on that plane. And then you're going to section off. I'm going to do a complicated set of directions here. I could find the center of it because I know that stairs has 6 letters into it. So I have 6 letters, and I can evenly find the middle the way that I'm going to teach you now. Do you have to do this? No, but I just like to show it. So I'm going to go from the opposite sides of that sign area. Connect the corners that are opposite, like you do for the side wall. And then that's the center vertical line. Now I could even go further because now I could put 3 letters into each section. So I could find the center of that and then just kind of guesstimate or I could just eyeball it. Either way, it doesn't matter. I was being kind of a stickler for this for some reason, so just bear with me because there's another sign that I'll do that's less complicated. Okay, so now I have my sections for each of my letters. I'm going to kind of go over it so I can see a little better and erase any of the lines I no longer need as reference. Make sure that they're straight as possible. Now for each of those smaller squares, that's where I want to create my letters. So I'm going to erase. So the tops of my letters and the bottom of my letters must fit according to that square. I can always get rid of the lines later, but my letters do need to be diagonal. They're not going to be straight like I wrote before. I wanted to show you the difference between the two sets of writing techniques. So this one will apply every part of the letter to the vanishing point. Even my S's and my mid part of my A and my R will also go back to that vanishing point that it applies to for that side. So because it's on the right side, all my letters in the mid sections and the tops and the bottoms will all go back to the right vanishing point. I'm going to erase my guidelines to kind of clear up my space and make it a little easier to see. This might look a little blurry for a moment, but I'll try to go over it with a darker set of lines so that way you can kind of see the way I did it. I accidentally erased my S, but I'm going to go back into it. There we go. I would say it's best to do block letters, but since my space is so small, I'm going to stick with my stick letters, but make them a little bit bolder. Later on, I'm going to make more of a block letter attempt, and you can kind of see that same demonstration as we did in our practice perspective, and you can apply it to your buildings to make some more three-dimensional letters. Now this does look like it goes back to the vanishing point. However, it just kind of lacks some dimension. It just looks like someone painted, well, I wouldn't say painted, but someone had the label on the building itself, but not as a three-dimensional object on its own.